So coming back and really opening the floor to the question that lines are still blurring. PR, I think, has not done PR enough for itself, at least not in the outside world. How do you think should we really be dealing with this? Yeah, Parul, we can start with you.
I think, firstly, we tend to beat ourselves a lot in the PR business that we're not this, we're not that. So I think the first step would be that to accept that we are quite powerful, we are quite influential. If we weren't, a lot needs to be done to educate clients. The second thing is to make PR aspirational for young people.
Rahul, coming to your journey, again, any personal challenge that is hindered, or really, you have gone past to make it where you are today?
No, I don't think there are any personal challenges, but I'd just like to add two things which I think are very important to the industry we represent.
Yeah.
Which are challenging. One is, of course, the inability yet of clients to really understand PR in its true sense. Indian companies have followed suit, many of them do, but we still get into situations where CEOs and CXOs really don't understand how it is the narratives have to be shaped and how it exactly works. Because the assumption is, I've hired this PR agency, kal to टाइम्स ऑफ इंडिया के फ्रंट पेज में या इकोनॉमिक टाइम्स में स्टोरी आ जाएगी भैया वो स्टोरी ऐसे नहीं आएगी.
Vineet, starting from you said that I don't want to talk about it, but if I were to go a little further and ask you that about your tryst with PR and then how you've really made it where you are today. Yet another episode, and this time I'm like totally stoked. I got to count my stars on this because such eclectic mix of guests I have today here with me. Welcome Parul, welcome Rahul, welcome Vineet to Unbound with Mamtaa. This is absolutely a special show and episode. We are talking public relations. So just starting the game with you, Parul, a quick introduction and then we'll move.
Hi, thanks for inviting us, Mamtaa. Looking forward to the conversation. I'm Parul. I work with PRmoment India and I'm a former journalist, television journalist.
Yeah.
Nice to be here.
I'm Rahul. I'm with Burson. I'm a senior director there. Been in the industry for about 15 years.
Pleasure to have you both. Vineet.
Hi guys, I'm Vineet. Thank you, Mamtaa with AA. And I'm a PR student of a PR school, and I also run a company called Kaizen. Yeah.
Super. I mean, I think they've really sort of introduced themselves because I didn't have the courage to, because each of their bios run more than a page and I can't remember so much about them. But truly coming to the soul and the spirit of the show, absolutely unstoppable humans doing phenomenal work where destinies have placed them. Have they chosen it for themselves, or are they the destiny's choice? So let's begin with you, Vineet. What brings you to PR?
I have a blog called PR by Chance.
Okay.
And honestly, till the time I started working, I didn't know exactly what is PR all about.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So I had a little sort of shaky start of my career. Actually, I had a great start. Started with ABCL, first day, out of college, and I joined on the same day of my last exam. So it was great. But then, of course, there's journey. I don't want to talk too much about it, but yeah. And then, in fact, I worked in Middle East for a while.
Okay.
And how that work has helped me now, I'll talk about that. But during the Kargil war, I was in India. I couldn't go back, and then hitting 5-7 different doors, I got this job in 7,200 rupees in a company called CMCG. That was my first PR job.
So coming back and really opening the floor to the question that lines are still blurring. They've always been blurred. PR, I think, has not done PR enough for itself, at least not in the outside world. I'm not talking about the fraternity and the community here. Be it business, MSMEs, entrepreneurs, they still are very confused about what PR brings to you. How do you think should we really be dealing with this? Yeah, Parul, we can start with you.
I think firstly we tend to beat ourselves a lot in the PR business that we haven't we're not this, we're not that. So I think the first step would be that to accept that we are quite powerful, we are quite influential. If we weren't, they won't be talking about us so much, and journalists wouldn't be tagging and harassing us so much online. So I would
Oh,
I would say that admit that this is powerful. Yes,
yeah.
a lot needs to be done to educate clients
Hmm.
and potential. There are two things. One, to educate clients on the value of PR, and the second thing is to make PR aspirational for young people
Hmm.
who enter. So that's a very important part of it. If you look at a show called Call Me Bay, which I really enjoyed
Hmm. Hmm.
watching,
Hmm.
she's a journalist. So why not a show where it's a young PR executive
Yeah.
and have that?
I think Emily in Paris did a bit of that perception
She
building,
did, but
but
that
yeah.
was, I mean, we know no real PR person would be
Yeah.
like, would do something like the kind of stuff she does.
Yes,
She made
yes.
herself a story which is not about PR.
Yeah, yeah,
So that's, it's education. Keep on, do what you do for your clients,
yeah.
educate people, and I would say most importantly, don't be underconfident.
You came into PR with your eyes open.
Yeah.
But
True.
people, I don't know how many people on the block really, one, understand what they're getting into when
True.
they say PR, and secondly, they are really aspiring to be the best PR professional, or let's say the best PR agency owner. So do you think the gap is still there, or the landscape is changing?
So first of all, to your earlier question, the landscape has changed. I'll tell you about something somebody once told me when I joined PR for the first time, and I had the opportunity to be mentored for a short while by Mr. Roger Pereira, who had set up Edelman and brought Edelman into the country. And, he told me that unfortunately PR is not recognized, or not a vocation that is really respected in India. He says, if you look at advertising, today advertising has great names. You've had the old advertisers like Alec Padamsi and Sam Balsara. Today you have Prasoon Joshi and
Piyush
Piyush
Pandey,
Pandey and
yeah.
people like that. Now, these are names that you recognize beyond the immediate ambit of just advertising, right? These are
Right.
people, of course, they're advertisers, they're flamboyant, they're in your face. You see them much more than you see a
Yeah.
Rahul or a Parul or a Vineet or people like that. But he said, these people fashion the industry, because if you remember in the 70s, advertising was not a good vocation. If you told your dad or mom, मैं advertiser बनने जा रहा हूँ, तुम्हें मार पड़ती, because it was looked down upon. But that industry has really changed and come a long way. And I think PR is doing the same. It's, I mean, from when I started to where it is now, huge strides. You have great names, but the fact is, these names are largely still within the ecosystem of PR. Even today, when a young adult who's joined the industry tells his parents, or her parents, that I'm joining the PR fraternity, they're still not sure कि
Yeah.
भैया ये क्या है?
हाँ.
What are you doing?
कुछ और देख लो.
Yeah, हाँ. Uh, lots of reasons. I
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
think we can get into that.
Yeah.
But the good thing is, as to Vineet's point, shifts are happening. It'll take time. Still some journey to be traversed. But I think we can be safely optimistic that it's headed in the right
Yeah.
direction.
Coming to each of your personal challenges of making where you are today in the business. So, Vineet, starting from you, you said that I don't want to talk about it, but if I were to go a little further and ask you that about your tryst with PR, and then how you've really made it where you are today.
So my first twist with PR, very interesting. I was a management trainee with ABCL, Amitabh Bachchan Corporation
Oh,
Limited.
wow.
And
Is that a well-known fact?
not. I don't know.
Okay.
Actually, it doesn't matter as well right now, because that's something which is past, right? My first twist with PR, Ashwini Singla, I remember. I think Clea was the agency for them during Miss World in 98, 99. And because I was an intern, I was put in on this Chinnaswamy Stadium gate where the event was supposed to happen. And my duty was to usher a journalist on a press conference day where Mr. Bachchan was supposed to address the press
Oh,
conference
wow.
from a gate to the hall. And my job was I was given to give them the press kit and take them, sir, please come and sit here.
Yeah.
That was my first understanding. And it's something called press conference, and this something called, a journalist, people speak and then they go and write about
Make
it,
notes. Yeah.
and there's a press card, and that's what I was asked in my first interview by Mr. Sameer Kale, who's my first PR guru, that what do you know about PR? I said, I know that there's media, we invite media, we take them and we hand it over. So I said, I handed over a press kit to him. He said, what all was there in press kit? I said, there was a notepad, pen, a press release, and the list of all the participants of, their countries and all of that, the
Yeah.
brochure.
Yeah.
And he hired me then and there.
Yeah.
He said, you're in.
Mhm.
7,200 rupees. And I was like happiest person on my earth and joining a PR agency because I've got a job. So I think that's where I understood that it's about media relations. It's about dealing with media. Now, as far as Kaizen is concerned, I changed 3 jobs: CMCG, Genesis, and Terry. So I was director communications for Terry before I started. I was probably the youngest guy in that whole, Terry, if you know, is an organization of lot of substance, lot of weight, lot of knowledge.
True.
And the people who were sort of there, amazing. And so it was a very different experience. But all 3 jobs I somehow changed the day it became very cushy for me, where I felt, I'm not facing any challenge in life now. So I think that's where it sort of said, no, I think now I will become probably a chair or a table or a furniture here. So let me, because, how much more you can do, right?
Contribute. Yeah.
And then because of my friends, I started Kaizen. That's also a very interesting story. And then my challenge is not every day, 5 times a day. That's the way life is now. Every 2 hours you see something new, something different, some challenging. If they are not there, then I create myself a challenge.
A challenge. Yeah.
Okay, let's do this. And I make sure that then we work on it and do it. If the teams are not coming together to help me on that, I'll work on myself and do it. Say, hey, you take it forward.
Yeah.
Sometimes we get very impatient.
Yeah.
You see somebody else's journey and you say, hey, see, in 5 years, that guy has reached somewhere. I have been after 10 years, same place. I'm not. No. I personally feel that everybody has its own time. You just need to keep focus on what you want to do, how you want to do. There will be a time.
Yeah.
There will be a time. I have probably 50 odd stories. The people who are my clients, they've been watching me for last 5 years, 7 years, 10 years. That how he's building it, what is happening. And now they have a courage to hire us. So nothing happens overnight.
Yeah.
Rome is not built in. So you have to be patient. You have to be there. You have to be seen. You have to keep on doing good work.
So, has this triggered any story, idea, or thought in you? Or do you have a story to tell yourself? Then reach out to me at Unbound with Mamtaa. Write to me at unboundwithmamtaa@gmail.com या फिर किसी भी हमारे एपिसोड, स्टोरी, रील या शॉर्ट्स को लाइक, शेयर और सब्सक्राइब करें. Keep watching Unbound with Mamtaa. I mean, your personal challenges in the profession, like in this journey?
So firstly, work-wise, the biggest challenge right now is to demonstrate the value of good content over events.
Yeah.
Because currently what is happening is that, and of course, we also depend on events to a certain extent as the revenue model.
Revenues.
So to maintain the quality of journalism and content that we want to is a huge challenge, and that is something which which I am trying to hope to address. When I first started out in journalism, our editors never took a byline, and I implemented that in PR Moment for many years. I didn't take a byline. It's only during COVID that I started taking a byline for my stories. And because that's not the role of an editor, you're supposed to shape and guide the highest standard of content. It's not about taking personal guidelines. So that has
Yeah.
been my challenge, to come out and be more active on social media, and say that we are doing this, and I have done this. And it's very anti what an editor is actually supposed to be.
Yeah.
But the environment has changed so much that if you're not a bit of a sort of promoter of your own content, then the magazine suffers.
Yeah.
So I would say that that is an extremely important challenge. Along with that, of course, I have something called Meniere's disease, so which makes mobility a bit of a challenge for me. I cannot fly. Some restrictions are there, and I think it's been great working with Ben, the publisher of PRmoment India, because uh, he has supported me during this journey. I'm not sure many bosses would have kept on someone who is quite restricted mobility wise. So I think the PR industry has been wonderful. Wherever I go, if I ask for help, I get it. There are times when I have to take elevators in a wheelchair because I can't tolerate the movements.
Okay.
And the PR firms have put somebody with me and helped me out. So it's been a so I have to whenever I work, I have to first physically overcome my physical challenges and then get to work. So it's a
Yeah.
double challenge
Yeah.
for me, but it's very much handleable. And the PR industry has been most welcoming.
Rahul, coming to your journey, again, any personal challenge that is hindered, or really, you have gone past to make it where you are today?
No, I don't think there are any personal challenges, but I'd just like to add two things which I think are very important to the industry we represent,
Yeah.
which are challenging. One is, of course, the inability yet of clients to really understand PR in its true sense. When you're protecting corporate reputation and building it, and you're a brand custodian, how does PR actually work? I find, that is still a process of evolution. You find the multinational clients understanding it far better, especially the big ones like the Microsofts and the Googles, because they've done it all, they've seen it all, and they know the value that public relations brings to the whole marketing mix, right? In fact, I think they've, in that sense, really been trendsetters, the large tech companies. Indian companies have followed suit. Many of them do, but we still get into situations where CEOs and CXOs really don't understand how
Yeah.
the narratives have to be shaped and how it exactly works. Because
Yeah.
the assumption is, I've hired this PR agency, कल तो टाइम्स ऑफ इंडिया के फ्रंट पेज में या इकोनॉमिक टाइम्स में स्टोरी आ जाएगी.
Yeah.
भैया वो स्टोरी ऐसे नहीं आएगी. It's not advertising
So
where
are,
you pay
are we
money.
underselling PR? What is the reason?
No, that is
really?
one. And the other thing, and the other problem is money. There is cost arbitrage is still a very important sort of thing in the industry. And that, of course, affects the industry as a whole. And the third thing, which is symbiotic with these two problems, is the kind of people you end up picking up, right?
Okay.
People, young people especially. See, people like us, we got into PR, for good or bad, with our eyes open, understood it, made, something for ourselves. But a lot of young people they stumble into PR. कुछ नहीं कर पाए तो यार चलो वो we've heard of something called public relations तो उसमें चले गए. I've seen a lot of that happen.
Okay.
That for me personally, when I've seen the kind of people entering the industry, sometimes it's been disheartening. I wish this industry attracted better people. The kind of courses people do both in journalism and public relations, unfortunately, they're not up to the mark, right? People spend a lot of money, but I find the best PR people and the best journalists are those who join a media house or a PR company and intern and work right from the beginning, as opposed to learning something and coming, because they're still zero, after spending that money.
Yeah.
I think these are professional challenges that I've seen. Again, Vineet and I were talking about this whole thing of cost arbitrage. I think that'll change. It's the industry's working towards it. Let's see. Yeah.
You've been an advertiser at heart, and probably even you wanted to always remain an advertiser by your profession. What has kept you to PR? Of course, you say that I came with a plan of just being for 1 year, but what has really kept you here?
I think it's the challenge and the difficulty of the profession.
Yeah.
It is not an easy profession. I don't know if Parul and Vineet might have different perspectives. They've seen more, they've done more. It's tough. It's tough. And I know I struggled. I'm not saying that I'm the best PR guy the world has seen. I do some good things. There's very many things that I don't do too well, and other people do it. It's been a tough journey. I've learned a lot, but I'm not the kind of guy who gives up. In fact, today I am more excited about PR now than I was 10 years ago.
Okay.
10 years ago, I used to look at myself in the mirror and say, why did I come into PR? Why didn't I go into advertising when there was a advertising agency waiting to take me in? They're glamorous, they're flamboyant, they put, creativity jo hoti hai. You see that in advertising.
Yeah,
You don't see that every day from a PR perspective. But today my concern is, and perhaps it's also a thing of excitement with the whole generative AI thing coming into play and the shifts in technology coming into play, what is going to happen to this industry?
Yeah.
And I swear, I keep awake at nights thinking, how are we going to transform ourselves? Not the next 2 years or 3 years. 2-3 years, nothing's going to change. I'm talking about the next 10 and 15 years. What is going to happen? The symbiotic relationship between a media house and a PR agency, that's going to completely change.
I think that's a fabulous roundup. So thank you so much to each one of you to totally being unbounded, bringing your personal, professional, and so many other sides all up here. Really grateful to have taken out this time. I hope you enjoyed the show as much as I did.
Absolutely.
Any
Thank
last
you.
words for Unbound?
Thank you, Mamtaa. It's been wonderful speaking to all of you, I would say.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. It was wonderful.
As I said, thank you, Mamtaa, with double A.
Yeah, thank you.
And I think I really enjoyed the show. You really had very softly brought in a lot of things, which is very, very good. And mostly what I enjoyed is I didn't feel like that it's a show.
Let's keep
Unbounding
unbounding together.